Hello everybody. Recently I went onto the Excel subreddit on the Reddit website to see the types of problems that Microsoft Excel users are having. One post that got my attention was by Leon in Peloton. I hope I got that pronunciation correct, but this person is a Pilates instructor, and what they're looking to do, they need an Excel model which will tell them how many times their students heard each individual song that was played in class. So I've gone ahead and I've created that model in Microsoft Excel. I'm going to share it with everybody. It's actually in the comments section below. You could click on the link. It's completely free. Now, for some of you, you might be saying that this is a specific situation, right? But let me tell you, I don't care what kind of data that you're working with. If you're looking to calculate the number of instances that a particular occurrence happens, I don't care if you're working with finance data, marketing data, this table or this Microsoft Excel sheet will work for you, right? So this will work in multiple areas no matter what kind of data set that you're working with. So with that being said, let's get into today's lesson. All right, everyone, let's take a look at my data first. So you could see here, I have a very basic data model, right? Under column A, I have my date. Under column B, I have the type, so whether the Pilates class was in the morning or night, so AM or PM. Under column C, I have the student name, so all the Pilates students, their names. And then from column D to column O, I have all the different songs that were played during the Pilates classes. Right? You'll notice each row underneath the song name has a 1, and what that's going to do is calculate the number of times each student has heard that specific song. Now, there are a few assumptions that I do want to state. Number one is that I'm assuming there's only 10 people per Pilates class. Number two, I'm assuming there's 12 songs being played per class. Number three, I'm assuming there's 2 students, which are regulars that attend every single class, AM and PM. Number 4 assumption, I'm assuming here that the time horizon was February 2026. And number 5, I'm assuming that the classes only take place on Saturday. There's 2 classes on Saturday, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, right? So of course, if this is not reality, you could go ahead and make changes so that it fits your reality. One other thing that I like to call out is that you might have noticed instead of using a traditional data tab, I use the table instead. The reason for that, it makes the pivot table way easier to update. We don't have to go and grab the rows that we add and the columns that we add every single time we go to update the pivot table. We'll come back to this a little bit later and I'll show you exactly what I mean. But for now, let's go ahead and look at the actual pivot table, which acts as our summary for each student. So you can see here under column A, I have the student name, the date, and the type of class, whether it was a morning or afternoon class. And then from column D to O, I have all the different songs, and now you could see the by date how many times each individual student heard every song, right? So you could see on row 8 Erling Haaland, on row 17 Martin Odegaard. These are your 2 regulars, so they would have heard every song 8 times. Everybody else, they only attended 2 classes, so they only heard every song 2 times, right? So if you use this table here, this would be a very easy way to not only track every time a student heard a specific song, but also their attendance, right? Another thing that I have here are these slicers. So if I want to see a specific person, I could go in and I could click on them. If I want to see for a specific date, I could also do that. And then if I want to see either afternoon or morning, I could do that by coming here and clicking AM or PM. right? So this is fairly straightforward. The last thing I do want to share with you is what we need to do in order to add rows and columns, because of course you'll be adding columns when you add new songs, and you'll be adding rows for the new classes, right? So every time you have a new class, you're going to have 10 new people or however many students. So let's go back into the data tab, and let's assume the latest class we have here was February 28th, and it was a PM class. So let's assume the same 10 people are going to come to the next class. So you could see it goes from March or February the 28th to March the 3rd, or sorry, again, March the 7th. Now we have the exact same students. It's a PM class. The only difference this time is that this runaway song, we're not going to play it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to take out 1 there. And we're going to add a song under column P. I'm going to add Still the One by the great Shania Twain. And I'm going to go, I'm going to add my ones. And this is what I was talking to you before. If we go back into the pivot table here, if I was using just regular data, I would have to go to Pivot Table Analyze, change data source, right? And I'd have to pick up the new rows and the new columns that I just added. But because I created the pivot table from an actual table and not a traditional data set, all I have to do is come in here to Pivot Table Analyze, click Refresh, and it automatically has my new data. So you could see here, for example, I have row 16 for March 7th, the PM class. So here we have 10 new rows that have been added for the March 7th class, and row 16 is just one of them. So that's an example. Now for the column, right, for the new song, that's a little bit more tricky to add, but still very basic. So let me show you. You go to Pivot Table Analyze, Field List, and here, Still the One, we're going to go and add it. And then let's just format it, right? So under column O, I'm going to take Format Painter. I'm going to come back, P, and then let's get rid of Sum Of because that doesn't look good. And there you could see, very quick to update. One last thing to call out is that, Leon and Peloton, I don't have the specific data that you're working with, right? So a lot of this might have to be manual entry on your part, but you could see this model here, it doesn't take too much time to go ahead and update it. So even if there is some manual entry, it should still be pretty efficient to do it in this model here and shouldn't take you that much time. So with that being said, that concludes today's lesson. But before we end the video, there is one thing that I would like to talk to you about first. Today's sponsor of the video is me. Just in case you don't already know, I have a Microsoft Excel course in which you could go from zero to hero in Microsoft Excel. I have over 100 different lecture videos individually bookmarked so that you can learn at your own pace. So for example, if you'd like to know about VLOOKUPs, I have a couple of videos on VLOOKUP. If it's pivot tables that you're after, I have an entire chapter on pivot tables. So if you'd like to accelerate your knowledge and go from beginner to pro in Microsoft Excel, my course is the course for you, and the link is in the comment section below. Now let's get back into the video. All right, everyone, this brings us to the end of the video. I would really like to get your feedback. So if you thought this was a good video, if you thought there's things that I could do better, I would really like to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, if you liked the video and you also like the channel, the type of content that I'm doing, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. Now, like I always say, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And as always, keep fit and have fun.